Hello everybody, welcome back. Today we are discussing episode 8 of the Dicely campaign. 8! How are we already here? I feel like we've done a lot of things, but also like nothing so far. We've picked up a lot of threads, and we gotta start following them. As always, we're going to be discussing episode 8 and all previous episodes in here, so if you want to avoid spoilers, go check out my bio. There are links to all the episodes there. Otherwise, let's just get on into it. So, off the top with episode 8, we are in Balesville. We have just met Gideon's parents. The party's kind of sad, and we all agree that we gotta get the fuck out of this town. Out of game, the group decided that we're gonna head down to the Duna Mountains and try to meet up with those cannibals that we talked to before. So we've got a bit of a trip ahead of us. We need to go resupply. We pick up some rations. We gotta start making money as a team. I am down to pennies. But as we go to resupply before we leave, we're stopped by some of the Arturian knights that we ran into the night before, and they ask us to come back to their guild house and talk with their leader. So we comply because we don't want to start anything. So they take us there and we meet the Reeve of Balesville, Lady Cater Bexley. We explain to them what we know about this kind of rebellious group that's looking to separate themselves from the Ascendancy. And then Nell kind of stirs the pot a little bit by trying to ask about what happened here in Balesville. And we end up kind of needing to make a quick escape because I don't think they like us very much. Side note, this whole building kind of feels strange to me. It was described to us as like an alabaster hall, which seems like a lot in this little town of Balesville. And there's gargoyles like posed on the outside of the building staring down at you. I have a feeling that we're going to see more alabaster all kind of throughout this world. The railroads that are being built are also made out of alabaster. So I'm interested to see, I think as we go up through Vallum Bridge and into Brawlbar, I think we're probably going to see more and more alabaster. It seems to kind of be a connection to the Ascendancy. I'm curious if this is all going to kind of tie itself together into something larger than what it seems right now. But in any case, the party leaves Balesville and starts traveling south to the Duna Mountains. As we go, we have another conversation with Abe. The whole point of going to these mountains and meeting with these cannibals is for Abe. And so the party is trying to get a better understanding of what exactly is going to happen when we get there, what exactly Abe is starting to remember, because it does start to seem that he is remembering things. He tells us that he remembers snapshots of his previous life, but he also has all of these kind of like snapshots and moments without context of all of these lives and souls that he's harvested. We kind of try to figure out like what was he before now? And he tells us that he was a single entity and he was tasked by Maaldin to collect these souls. And as he did, they kind of all started to become a part of him. And the reason that he needs to go to the mountain now is that there's a soul there that he must harvest. He is destined to go and fight one of the members of this cannibalistic society and take his soul to paradise, or die trying. I still don't feel like I have a great understanding of what's going to happen when we get to these mountains, but I guess we're going to find out soon enough. As we continue to travel, Drac shows us this kind of cool lesson from his hometown. I feel like Drac is the character that we know the least about, so I really enjoyed having this moment for him to kind of explain more about his history and his home. Essentially what he has us do is he has this holy symbol, and it's round and it has kind of 5 points on it, 5 dragon heads. And each of the different heads represents something different. So there's evil, good, chaos, law. I don't remember what the last one was. He asks each of us to hold the holy symbol by one finger under one of the heads. And then he places a small ball on the middle of the holy symbol. And if any of us raise or lower our hand too much, the ball will fall. And he uses this to explain that in his culture, it's important to maintain balance in everything. So even evil must exist in the grand scheme of things to help balance everything else out. Same with too much good can upset the balance. It was just a great way to get to know his character a little bit more and understand the teachings and the philosophy that he works off of. The party continues to travel for a number of days, and eventually we kind of spot an encampment that's very close to the mountains that we're heading to. And the group decides that it's probably a good idea to head to that encampment, and we'll try to talk to the people there. They might know something about these cannibals. We decide to detour to go hit that camp before we head towards the mountains. And as we're heading that way, a big fight breaks out. A giant land shark jumps out of the ground and attacks the group. Elwyn and Nell are crushed and knocked out as this giant land shark erupts from the ground and lands on top of us. Luckily, we're quickly revived by the group, but by Denny's home rules, it means that we both suffer a level of exhaustion, as we didn't take the full rest needed to be brought back up naturally. Exciting fight where Elwyn uses both of her spell slots. Truly a first for her. 2 spells that she's never cast before. I think I'm a bad spellcaster. This is like our 3rd fight and I'm only just now using spells, so I think I might be bad at this. It's a little touch and go there for a little bit, but eventually we do take it down and we even manage to harvest it for some parts, which I'm hoping we can sell and make some money with. I have no money. But anyways, we continue on to that encampment that we saw before. When we get there, the group seem very friendly. We meet their leader. His name is Morog, and he tells us that the name of this place is Grassfire. They offer us some food, some drinks, and we have a good conversation with them. They seem a little kind of off about the cannibals. They tell us that they have kind of an agreement with them and they each just kind of do their own thing. They do admit that they see the cannibals bring people into their caves a couple times a month and they very rarely, if ever, see those people leave. So that's comforting. After we kind of eat and drink with them, they offer to let us stay in their camps overnight. They have a bunch of single tents and they say that we're welcome to stay here if we so desire. And we agree. I think we kind of have a party of introverts, people who enjoy their own privacy. I know that's why, as Elwyn, I was excited about the idea of having a single tent. She really, like myself, is an introvert and, recharges her batteries by being alone. So the party all just crawls into their tents and goes to sleep. And then Denny asks us what our passive perception is. And for most of us, it's not great. But Drac has the observant feat, so his passive perception is a 21, which is pretty darn good. And so Denny describes Drac being woken up in the middle of the night as people open up the front of his tent and storm in with rope and swords. And we learn that the rest of the party has already been captured. Cute. Of course we had been. I don't know why nobody ever thought to do an insight check on this guy. I didn't spot any red flags with the way they were talking, though looking back on it, there definitely were a couple. Yeah, like their agreement with the cannibals, sure. And that's where the session ends. I'm pretty sure the next session is them gonna be dragging us to those cannibals anyways. Drac is most certainly going to try to fight them. And there is also most certainly nothing that me, Azaria, or Gideon can do to get out of any sort of entrapment. The 3 of us with the less than 10 strength are not going anywhere. In any case, we're certainly in an interesting position, and the beginning of next episode is going to be something to watch. And if you want to watch it live with us, you can watch us on Twitch at twitch.tv/DicelyDND. We will be live next on August 14th at 6 p.m. Eastern, and you can see with us what ends up happening here. I have a feeling Elwyn's gonna spend an entire fight with her wrist bound together, just kinda hanging out. In any case though, guys, I hope you stay happy and healthy, and I will see you all next time. Bye!